Explore the vibrant arts and culture landscape of Michigan, a state with a thriving creative ecosystem that has birthed iconic movements like Motown and the Purple Rose Theater. Home to legendary musicians, writers, and artists, Michigan boasts a rich tapestry of cultural heritage known worldwide. Michigan Creates is a podcast series that will connect listeners with gifted artists and cultural institutions that are nurturing Michigan's vibrant creative landscape. Welcome to Michigan Creates. I'm your host, Ara Topouzian. In this episode, we head to Grand Rapids, Michigan for one of the most exciting arts events in the country, ArtPrize. I sit down with JoLee Kirkikis and Kailey Smith-Barth, the dynamic team leading this year's exhibitions. ArtPrize features everything from immersive installations to unexpected pop-ups in public spaces. Whether you're a seasoned art lover or just curious, this episode will show you why ArtPrize is a can't-miss celebration of imagination. So I am talking with JoLee and Kailey. They represent the exhibition team for ArtPrize. So I appreciate both of you for being on the program today. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Let's talk about ArtPrize. It's got a very rich history in Michigan. You would think everybody knows about ArtPrize, but for those that may not, what is ArtPrize?
Yeah, every year there's new people that they've never been to ArtPrize before, and we give them the welcome. ArtPrize is an international art competition that takes place in Grand Rapids, Michigan every September, where $400,000 are distributed to artists competing from all over the world in any medium. Prize is restricted to only being a competition for living artists, so you have to be alive representing your work, but you don't necessarily have to be a professional artist, in quotations, to participate. So it is very contemporary, very the climate of now and what people are bringing to the table in response to it.
So if you now I've experienced ArtPrize, but for those that haven't, kind of try and give a visual of what folks would see in and around to the Grand Rapids area. When you talk about these artists and living artists, what would people see as they're sort of traveling throughout the city?
They will see a little bit of everything. ArtPrize, art is for everyone, and so is ArtPrize. There are typically around 1,000 artists participating, with art at over 150 venues throughout town. As a visitor, you come and you vote on our ArtPrize voting app, and so you get to express what you believe should take home a piece of the prize money. In addition to jurors, professional jurors who are in the art sphere, they come and evaluate all of those artists as well. So then there becomes a really cool dialogue between what the general public finds interesting, compelling, intriguing, fun, worthy of these awards, and then you also have these art professionals coming in from their institutions around the country saying, and this is the avant-garde conversations, and how it's reflected here in the Midwest every year.
So ArtPrize really could put a unknown artist on the map. I mean, it's definitely a good I guess, lack of a better term, a resume booster for the artist, especially if it's being judged by those, those that, art is in the eye of the beholder. So the beholder gets to vote on it. So any little stories of some unknowns that have been part of ArtPrize that sort of took off after they exhibited?
First to mind comes Rand Ortner, who actually won the very first ArtPrize with his water paintings, and he was at that time kind of out on his luck and had to borrow someone's cell phone so he could call his sister, whose place he'd been staying at, to let her know that he had won a giant prize. And so now he's continued his practice and enjoys his life out in New York as an artist, still to this day.
Excellent. So artists don't necessarily have to be in Michigan. Is that right?
Correct. You can be from anywhere in the world. You just have to be 18 years or older.
What's the percentages like? What's the difference between maybe Michigan versus worldwide as far as artists go?
Yeah, we usually have between 60 and 70% from Michigan, but that's all the way up to Marquette and all the way down to, our southern borders in Michigan with Ohio and Indiana. The Midwest has a pretty pronounced presence in ArtPrize, but last year we had 35 states and 42 countries represented. So there are artists from all over coming to town for this.
And you've got different countries represented too. So they're coming as far as where?
India, Ireland, France, the UK, Russia, Ukraine, Japan. Kind of, it is all over.
And how many people would you say are viewing this art each year? And maybe talk about, a timeline, just sort of general timeline of months of when does the process for you all start versus when we actually see the artwork.
We are working year round, the ArtPrize team is. But starting in January to February, we begin our venue recruitment. And then venue registration opens up in March. So that's when all the businesses in Grand Rapids that are within our district that are able to register begin registering for the ArtPrize event. And that runs all the way until the end of May. And then artist registration usually opens up around the beginning of April and runs all the way till the end of May. And this is when both venues and artists are just kind of getting into the system, getting their profiles set up, and kind of beginning thinking about how they're going to prepare for the ArtPrize event. And then starting in June, we have what we call our connections period, which is the artist and venue matchmaking. Similar to a dating app, artists and venues create profiles on our website, and then they're able to kind of view one another and send connection requests, similar to like a Facebook request or in a dating app, swipe right, swipe left. So this is how they're able to determine whether or not they're a good match for one another. And that's how the entries are independently curated throughout ArtPrize.
How many venues actually are showing artwork throughout Grand Rapids?
Last year we had 167 total venues. So that we have our different districts, so North Side, East Side, West Side, Center City, and South Side. And depending, Center City is usually the most concentrated area of venues, but those other areas can be anywhere from 25 to 40 different venues in those specific districts. But downtown, there's quite a concentration.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen it. And so going back to that first question I wanted to ask is how many people do you estimate see the artwork during the ArtPrize exhibition?
Yeah, last year we had 800,000 visitors come specifically for ArtPrize, and over the course of our 16, 17 days of ArtPrize, there was 1.2 million visits to the ArtPrize district. We do tracking with our city partners who help tell us how many people are coming to town, how many people are parking, how many hotels have been booked out for the season.
Yeah, I got to imagine the economic impact is fairly grand for ArtPrize. Talk about there's also an opportunity for grants. Am I not mistaken? Talk about that process.
Yeah, so in addition to the $400,000 in awards and prizes, we also have around $200,000 in grants that are dispersed in the springtime, early summer period to artists to help them bring their visions to life. There is an assortment of different grant programs, or our grant suite as we call it, from micro grants of $2,000 if you need a little bit of help, you need a little bit more material to finish your thing or do your thing, all the way up to $25,000 for large scale public art.
And you also have pitch nights during ArtPrize. I find that really interesting. So let's talk about that. What does that involve?
Yeah, so pitch nights have been part of ArtPrize since before my time, 2016 and earlier, in which it's kind of like I think of it as like a foreign exchange student program where ArtPrize goes to different cities and collaborate with different partners all around the country to bring 5 artists in. For 5 artists have 5 minutes to tell 5 judges why they should receive $10,000 to bring their project to ArtPrize. Those funds are partner matching, so ArtPrize gives 5, the other organization in the other state gives 5, and then someone comes to ArtPrize. So this year we focused on 5 5 different cities around the country, and Kailey and I have spent a lot of the last couple weeks flying, traveling, driving to all these different places, but now we have 5 really excellent artists and really incredible projects coming to us this fall. We're also hosting a locals only pitch night coming up.
Do you work with the artists as far as developing their pitches, or do they need to do that on their own before they come to see you?
That's kind of up to them.
Yeah.
We want to see what is compelling, what is, I don't necessarily know what people in Oklahoma are talking about and what represents them and their communities best. So we trust the artists and our partners out there to bring the cream of the crop, and then we conduct the pitch nights. So, if you can't talk for 5 minutes in front of 5 people, I'm not sure how you're going to talk to 800,000 people for 16 days. There is a little bit of a litmus test there for it.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely important. What's gratifying for both of you? You've been doing this for a long time. You're seeing a lot of artists come through. What makes this exciting for both of you each year?
That is a really good question. For me, this is my 9th ArtPrize. I've helped over 10,000 artists go through it, and I continue to be wowed, to be humbled, to be energized, to be just blown away in really miraculous ways, and also really I didn't know someone thought things about that thing, and now we're gonna talk about it through the matrix of their work. I also find every year a little bit more thankfulness that it is in real life. Like, you have to come to ArtPrize with your work, and you have to come here to vote. With everything so digitally connected, there is this intrinsic value of seeing art with your own eyeballs in real life. Every year there's we see all of the artists registering, and we're like, oh wow, I hope this comes. I love this. This is my favorite applicant. And then sometimes they come and you're like, oh, that is not what that looked like online. Some things do photograph better, or they are simply unphotographable, and you do have to experience it. So I think cultivating experiences that anyone can tap into. ArtPrize is free and open to the public. As long as you can get to Grand Rapids, you can attend ArtPrize.
What's new and exciting that's going to be coming up next for ArtPrize? I've got to imagine after all these years you've been evolving and adding and changing some different things. Maybe it's some technology within, the platform of some sort. But what can you tell folks that may be coming up down the road that they would be interested in?
We have some really exciting activations coming up. We have announced already a Borealis. So this is a large-scale installation that will be in downtown Grand Rapids. It's a large-scale inflatable installation. It's created by Architects of Air. It's a design collective known for its breathtaking architectural structures made from really colorful, airy sculptures. A Borealis is designed to kind of create a sensory journey for visitors. And according to Architects of Air, it kind of blurs the boundaries between architecture, art, and play. So this will be here for all 14 days of ArtPrize. It'll be at 555 Monroe, which is on Monroe Avenue, kind of by the skate park, 6th Street Park. So really excited for that activation to come. Tickets are going to be going on sale for that activation soon, as well as we're excited for the ArtPrize gallery. So ArtPrize curates some different spaces in the city during ArtPrize, including City Hall. And with ArtPrize gallery is one that we will be announcing soon. So we're excited for that one as well.
Question I have, maybe the last question I would ask. ArtPrize is a yearly undertaking, but are there any exhibits that have stayed permanent within the city that, hey, this was so good, we don't want this to leave?
Yeah, there's a number of previous just participants as well as winners that you can still see around town. There's any number of businesses that are very dedicated to preserving ArtPrize. So or pieces of ArtPrize, because ArtPrize is an event. We don't have our own building. You can't come to ArtPrize every day of the year. It's really only those couple weeks in September. But Rand Ortner, I spoke with him earlier, you can actually see his piece at a downtown restaurant. There is a landscaping company, Harder and Warner, and they've made a big mission out of collecting a lot of previous large-scale sculptures. Nessie was a very crowd favorite piece from the very early years, and that found a home at the zoo, and now it's been turned into a bench because, no one thought that Nessie in the river was going to want to be seen for over, 13 years later. So there is a dedicated preservation, but there is also, I think it is exciting that they come, they eat, they leave.
Right.
There is art that has touched ArtPrize, and ArtPrize has touched back, that does get to go home, and then it is included in their artist statements. Over the last year and a half, I've been very fortunate to travel quite a bit for work between the pitch nights and other necessary things. And every city I've gone to, I've been able to find an ArtPrize artist. Not even trying to, I will just run into them. And it's a really magical thing.
So if folks want more information about ArtPrize, what is the website?
Artprize.org. And
Pretty
follow
easy.
us on social media, all at ArtPrize.
Awesome. Well, JoLee, Kailey, thank you for taking a little bit of time today to talk with us today. And we encourage everyone to come to the Grand Rapids, Michigan area in the fall of every year and check out ArtPrize. So thanks, guys, for being part of this today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Michigan Creates. We hope you've had fun diving into the creativity of our state. From Motown melodies to artisanal wonders, Michigan never fails to dazzle. But hey, the creativity doesn't stop here. Connect with us online, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new episodes. Help us spread the word and also share your own artistic stories. So until next time, I'm Ara Topouzian, and I want you to keep those musical instruments in tune, keep those paintbrushes moving, and keep those cameras rolling. Remember, in Michigan, the only limit is your imagination. Stay creative.